Hi, all. Today we'll discuss about dynamic programming. So, in this video, we'll discuss what is dynamic programming and what are the characteristics of it, and how we can identify a problem can be solved with using dynamic programming. Yeah, dynamic programming is very easy when you identify a problem can be solved with dynamic programming. Yeah, that means we need to identify the characteristics of dynamic programming in the problem. So when you identify them, so then we can easily apply this dynamic programming methodology to that problem. To solve that problem. This is very important concept, and in many of the coding interviews, people were often asked dynamic programming problems. Yeah, coming to our topic, dynamic programming. Dynamic programming is a technique for a solving problem, for a solving, we can say, a big problem by breaking it down into similar subproblems. So that means a problem has to be break down into similar subproblems and utilizing the optimal solution to the overall problem with its subproblem. Yeah, we can understand more by seeing an example. So our classic example for the dynamic programming problem is Fibonacci numbers. So as we all know, what is Fibonacci number? Is Fibonacci number series of numbers in which number is the sum of two preceding numbers. So our series is like this: 0, 1. So 0, 1 are the starting numbers of the Fibonacci. Then when you come to third, here I'll go with 0th Fibonacci number is 0. First Fibonacci number is 1. Second Fibonacci number is sum of previous two numbers 0 plus 1, 1. And 2 is sum of 1 plus 1. 3 is sum of 1 plus 2. Likewise, our series is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Well, okay, what if nth Fibonacci number is? The nth Fibonacci number is f of n equal to f of n minus 1 plus f of n minus 2. The two preceding numbers, sum of two preceding numbers. Now this is for all n greater than 2. So when n is 0 or 1, they are fixed. Those are 0, 1. We can say those are base conditions in our program. Yeah, see here to solve the overall problem. So that is f of n. So for example, if we were asked to find a fifth Fibonacci number or nth Fibonacci number, so we broken it down into smaller subproblems. So which are fn minus 1 and fn minus 2. So again, if you want to solve fn minus 1, this will be again broken down into two smaller places, fn minus 2, fn minus 3. Yeah, this shows we can use TP to solve this problem. Yeah, we can clearly see what are the characteristics of the DP. So a DP, dynamic programming problem characteristics is overlapping subproblems. So that means subproblems are smaller version of the original problems. If you see here, f of n is the original problem, and the smaller problems are f of n minus 1 and f of n minus 2. So again, f of n minus 1 equal to f of n minus 2 plus f of n minus 3. So that means a subproblem is a smaller version of the main problem, original problem. So any problem solution involves solving the same problems multiple times, then that means it has overlapping subproblems. So here our example Fibonacci numbers. So to find out f of phi, it has to be broken down into the following subproblems. So f of phi is f of 4 plus f of 3. F of 4 is f of 3 plus f of t. Yeah, likewise. So these are all subproblems. Yeah, we'll come to again this recursion tree will come again. Yeah, before going to there, the other characteristic property is optimal substructure property. So the dynamic programming first characteristics is overlapping subproblems. Like if you find overlapping subproblems in a original problem, so that means you can apply dynamic programming solution. So apart from, you need to again to see the optimal substructure property also. So what is optimal substructure property is any problem as optimal substructure property if overall optimal solutions can be constructed from the optimal solutions of its problem. So that means, so this f of n is f of n minus 1 plus f of n minus 2. This clearly shows the problem of size n. So this size n has been reduced to n minus 1 and n minus 2. Okay, this, so that means we are finding optimal substructure property. So this f of n minus 1 is the one's optimal substructure property, and f of n minus 2 is again a optimal substructure property. So that means Fibonacci numbers have optimal substructure property. So we'll review again what is optimal substructure property is. So when an optimal substructure, any problem has optimal substructure property if overall optimal solution can be constructed from the optimal solutions of its subproblems. So this is one optimal solution of subproperty. This is one something like that, f of n minus 3, f of n minus 4, like it. So if we found these two characteristics in our problem, so that means problem can be solved by dynamic programming. So dynamic programming methods are, so this is top down with memorization. So that means you'll use recursion here. Bottom up with tabulation. So this is actual dynamic programming solution. So when you're trying to solve a problem with the bottom up approach with the tabulation method without recursion and with linear, so that means you are actually solving a problem using dynamic programming method. Yeah, first we'll come to the brute force method of solution of this Fibonacci numbers, finding Fibonacci numbers. Well, everyone know what is recursion. So the brute force method is, so if I want to find Fibonacci number, fifth Fibonacci number, so what will I apply? I'll recursively apply the same solution. So we'll see the program. So it is simple. I'm having one method called findFib for the int n, and if my base condition, in the recursion program, yeah, this is a brute force method. I'm going to find Fibonacci number without dynamic programming with recursive solution, and it is very easy. It's a one-line program. That's it. You need to call again this Fibonacci series. So we are purely go by our mathematical statement. So what is Fibonacci n is? Fibonacci n is Fibonacci n minus 1 plus Fibonacci n minus 2. But here we need to have one base condition. When we n is less than 2, we need to return n. So if you see, these are the two base conditions. Okay. For writing the recursion program is very easy, but what is the complexity of this program? The complexity of this program is we are calling this Fibonacci, I mean per n nodes, we are calling this function, I mean this method 2 power n times. So that's what our complexity is, order of 2 power n. Okay, we'll see in this tree. Okay, so we'll come here, finding f of 5. For this, we are first computing f of 4. For computing f of 4, we are first computing f of 3. And for computing f of 3, we are computing f of 2. And for computing f of 2, we are computing f of 1. This is the base condition. We reached the base condition. That means again we are going to the right side of the tree in the recursion, f of 2, f of 0. And again this is done. So then we come to here and the right side f of 1. And this f of 3 is computed now. Then we come to f of 4, right side of the f of 2. And then again trying to compute the f of 2. But to compute f of 2, again we are computing f of 1. So something like, so we are calling 2 power n times. And if you clearly see, so this we are evaluating f of 3 here, here twice. And we are evaluating f of 2 thrice. F of 2 here, f of 2 here, f of 2 here, thrice. So that means, can we optimize solution by using some technique such that we can avoid this computing duplicate times? So that way we can optimize this solution. So that is one of the technique. So the technique is, so you can write, you can write a recursive program and then try to optimize solution by not computing, by not computing duplicate times of the already computed solution. So that technique we called here is top down with memorization. So that means we're still using recursion, but we're just avoiding the duplication of the computation by using memorization. It will go to what is duplicate this top down with memorization approach. So this top down this memorization approach is, we'll try to solve a bigger problem by recursively finding the solution to smaller subproblems. Yeah, right, we see the Fibonacci numbers. The Fibonacci number of n is Fibonacci n minus 1 plus n minus 2. We are trying to solve the problem with recursively with a Fibonacci n minus 1 plus n minus 2, but the sub problem result is cached. So that means we'll save the sub problem result in the memory. And when we end up to solving repeatedly, we don't solve, we just return the saved result. So this technique of storing the results of already solved subproblems is called memorization. So still we are going top to down. So like I show here, so when I try to compute f of 5 here, so first I need to calculate f of 4. So to calculate f of 4, to find f of 4, I need to calculate f of 3, and I need to calculate f of 2 for f of 3. For f of 2, I need to calculate f of 1. So likewise, when I reach here, f of 5, to find f of 3, so in this left substructure, we already had a solution. In this approach, what we do is, when we calculate this one, will save somewhere in the memory, and when we come here, we don't go by the solution. I mean, we don't find f of 2 again. We'll just return the result from the memory. So we're still doing the recursion, but we are avoiding the duplication. And this is top down. So why we are saying top down is, so to find f of 5, we are starting from f of 5 and going down to the f of 1 or f of 0 to find the solution of f of 5. Yeah. So the problem, yeah, now just will modify slightly of this recursion, and then we can have the solution. Okay. So earlier, yeah, here what we need a array to store the already calculated problems. I mean, we store the result of the already calculated problems. So that's what we are defining a array memory with the n+1. Okay. So again, we are calling find Fibonacci with recursion. Yeah, the base condition will be same. Okay. Yeah, like you see here, the base condition is same. But when in the original recursion program, what we did is we did simply return find fbn-1 plus find fbn-2. But here, what we do is we just check whether the result is already calculated. So that means, do we have any result in the memory? If not, if it is, we'll return from there. So if not, what we do is we solve that one and then store in the memory and then return from the memory. So by this way, we are avoiding the duplication of the calculation of the already solved problems. So that means it is still recursion. It is still we are calculating using recursion method by solving the subproblems, by solving the same subproblems, but avoiding the duplication. Okay, so we'll just run this program. Yeah. So for example, we take the 5th Fibonacci. Okay, come here. It is not n less than 2. It is not yet saved. Okay. So then find Fibonacci of 4 and 3. And again, this method will be called as it is in recursion. And then when we count the 4, it is not saved yet. And again, we called 3 and 2. So come to here, 3 is already saved. So when 3 is already saved, we'll return from there, something like that. Yeah, you can go by assume by using this tree structure. So this way our complexity reduces to order of n, and space complexity is order of n because we are using this extra array. Yeah, and coming to the other technique, bottom up with tabulation. So bottom up with tabulation, so we don't use recursion here. We solve this problem in linear way, and then this method is actual dynamic programming. So that means a dynamic programming problem solution without using recursion and the tabulation method is dynamic programming. I will come to this technique. So what is bottom up with tabulation? So tabulation is opposite of the top down approach. So what we see, we are blindly, in the previous methods, what we see, we are blindly going top down. Now when you want to find out f of 5, so we are trying to directly solve the f of 5, by using f of 4, f of 3. So something like we are going top down. But here it is a reverse way and it is a linear way. First, what we solve here is we'll solve the sub problems first. Okay, so that means to calculate f of 5, what we need f of 0, we need f of 1, f of 2, f of 3, f of 4. Okay, so that means we'll calculate f of 0 first, f of 1 first, next, and then f of 2, and then f of 3, and then f of 4. So for calculation of the f of 2, we use f of 1 and f of 0, and we'll save the data. We'll save that in a tabular format. So that means it is a bottom up approach. So if you want to find the f of 5, first we solve the sub problems of it from the bottom up. So first we solve f of 0 and then f of 1 and then f of 2, and try to save f of 2 results in the memory. So likewise f of 3, f of 4 and f of 5. We end up with the solution with the f of 5. So that is called bottom up with tabulation. So here Fibonacci is, very simple example I can take, but sometimes dynamic programming problems involve n-dimensional table. So here it is a one dimension, so that means you can just have one array to solve the sub problems results. To store the sub problems results. But sometimes you may have 2D array, 3D array to store this one. So that means in this approach, we solve the sub problems first and then store into n-dimensional array, and based on the result, we'll compute the actual problem solution. So tabulation is completely opposition of the memorization. So memorization is like top-down approach, tabulation is bottom-up approach. So in the memorization, we maintain a map to already solved sub problems with the top-down approach, and that is recursive. But in the bottom-up approach, it is not recursive, it is linear, and we'll save the already store. We save the sub problems results in the n-dimensional array. So we'll see. Let's apply our tabulation to our example of Fibonacci numbers. Yeah, we know the fact that Fibonacci numbers is sum of the previous Fibonacci numbers. So that way we can populate our table. Okay, so coming to the base, yeah. So for every dynamic programming problems, we need some, as we seen in the recursive method and recursive with the memorization method also, we have some base condition. Here also we do have the base condition. So our overall table looks like this. So f of 0, 0, f of 1, 1. When you're trying to populate f of 2, we'll use f of 0 and f of 1 and then populate the result. So f of 2 is nothing but f of 0 plus f of 1. So that is 0 and 1. And likewise f of 3 is f of 2 plus f of 1, that is 1 plus 1, that's 2. And f of 4 is f of 2 plus f of 3, 1 plus 2 is 3. F of 5 is f of 3 plus f of 4, 2 plus 3 is 5. Likewise, you can fill up this table. So if you see what I'm doing is I'm just going in the linear fashion, unlike here. So here how we went in the recursive fashion. So here we are going in the linear fashion and filling up our table. So once you reach the actual problem solution, so then you can return the results from this table. So that's called bottom up tabulation method. Yeah, the program is very simple. Find fp. Yeah, so the base condition, if n equal to 0, return 0. Yeah, here this is the one-dimensional table. to store the sub problems results. So int dp is new int of n plus 1. In the base cases, we need to already fill the data with the base cases. dp is 0, the 0th record with the 0 and the first record with the first 0 and 1. And then we will iterate up to here. For example, if you want to find the 5th Fibonacci series, we need to iterate up to 5 from the second, because we already populated 0 and first one. So then we are just iterating in the linear fashion. So we know the fact that the dp, I mean the Fibonacci series of a number is the previous sum of the previous two Fibonacci numbers. We are just populating by using that fact. We are just populating the data by using that fact. And then once we reached the actual solution of the problem, so that is f of 5, we are just simply returning the data, the results from the table. Yeah, this is what dynamic programming. Yeah, but we took simple example, so that's what it looks like, very simple. So, but if you take the complex problems first, I mean, if you take complex problems also, the actual dynamic programming solution is easy, but the thing is you need to find the characteristics in the dynamic programming. Like here, the characteristic is the f of 2 is f of 0 plus f of 1. Likewise, f of n is f of n minus 1 plus n minus 2. So the optimal, yeah, as I discussed, you need to see, is there any overlapping subproblems are involved in the solution of the problem, and are they optimal substructure property? So if we found these two, so that means we can apply dp. So that means when a problem arrives, first you try to solve that in recursion method, and then see, is there any way to avoid, I mean, try to see, are you calculating anything in the recursion? If you are calculating a duplicates, try to avoid them by using memorization, and later you can apply the tabularization, bottom of tabularization method. So that's what you can practice, and you can end up with the dynamic programming. Yeah, we'll see more dynamic programmings and the solution of the dynamic programmings in later videos. Yeah, thank you. If you like this video, please share it.